Hello Vault Heads, this is the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators. And today I'm doing my first mass mutation video, which is quite funny, bearing in mind we've had it for almost a year. But obviously I'm quite new to putting these podcasts online and things, so I haven't done one, but with Mass Mutation coming to the end of its cycle as being the most up-to-date and the newest KeyForge set, with Dark Tidings coming out worldwide very, very shortly, everyone should have it within the next week, I thought I'd go back and have a look at my favourite Mass Mutation cards and just say a little bye to it. So I'm going to start with House Disc, because I'll do one from each house, and I've got an artifact with no Amber Pip. It is Eaton's Jar. Play. Name a card. Until Eaton's Jar leaves play, cards with that name cannot be played. Okay, so I like the fact that it's double-sided. Now, admittedly, you do not have to name a card that is in your deck. You can, and it's not the best idea to do that. But I like this for the fact that there are some just combos, and you can just take one of the pieces out. Bring an interdimensional graft. Right, I'm going to ban you playing interdimensional graft. So you can double my amber, but you can't steal it from me. Martian Generosity Key Abduction. I'm going to ban you from playing the Key Abduction, so you can't forge the keys. Or I'm going to ban you from playing Martian Generosity to fill your hand in the first place. Now again, realistically, in really high level Archon competitive play, you are probably going to have artifact control. Most people are going to have artifact control, but it could be the thing that wins you a game. It's not broken. It's not broken good, and it's not going to completely ruin someone else's chances of playing a game unless they're playing a combo deck with 2 or 3 pieces that must work for them to win. But again, if you are doing that, you do risk leaving yourself open to being stung by one of these key artifacts. But most of the time, it's going to work, and it's going to obstruct your opponent, and it's going to be quite annoying for them. But it's not going to break the game, ruin the game, or make someone want to flip the table. So that's why I've gone for that one, because I think it's really good, but not too good. That's going to bring me on to house logos, and this time I've gone for a creature. It is a 3-power creature with no Amber Pip, Chronos. Enhance 2. These 2 draw enhancement icons have been added to cards already in your deck, and after you resolve a draw bonus icon, you may archive a card. Admittedly, this can be a little bit unfortunate if you don't have any draw icons in house logos. They still work if they're in other houses, but if they're not in logos, obviously your opponent has a chance to kill Chronos before you actually get any benefit out of its passive archiving ability. However, if you're lucky enough to get Chronos that's got a draw enhancement on it itself, it is a creature that's power 3, play, draw a card, and archive a card, and that's pretty strong for terms of creature levels. My favourite Mass Mutation deck, which is on my channel, is the Niflcon one. Has got Chronos with a draw enhancement on it. It's also got 2 other cards in logos with draw enhancements, and it's also got a Fish and Bloom as well, which, I'll be honest, I probably would swap it for other cards. But there are times where I Fish and Bloom my own Chronos, draw 2, archive 2, and that deck really does cycle through so fast because of the 7 draw enhancements and because of the Chronos archiving. So yeah, again, you'll have heard me say on this channel, if you watch quite a few of my videos, I am not the biggest fan of draw. I'm really not. Draw 1 card, you've got a 30% chance. It's not going to be the house you've called, but this is just consistently good, usually, as long as you've got a bit of draw in logos. So then I'm going to come on to my card for Sanctum, which is an artifact. It has no Amber Pip, and it is Font of the Eye. Okay, and that is an Omni artifact as well. Okay, and it reads, if an enemy creature was destroyed this turn, a friendly creature captures 1. So again, it's the consistency of it. Something that just allows you to permanently capture 1 pretty much every turn. It's just that little bit extra. It can be the amber control you need to push you over the edge and just take your opponent off, or just get them down to 5 or get them down to 6 if you've got something else in play. The fact that it's Omni as well, I mean, yes, I appreciate you have to kill a creature to get it to work. That's why it's Omni, because there are artifacts in the game that have the exact same sort of power as this in terms of what they do, but they aren't Omni, but they work every turn. But that's because you have to call the house that's in play to get them to work. So I think, to be fair, it probably needs to be Omni because of the whole you must kill a creature. But if you kill one creature, you must destroy it. You can't purge it. You can't return it to hand or return it to deck. It must be destroyed. But if you destroy a creature, there we go. Also as well, it's not a rare card either. It is a common card. You'll see plenty of decks that have got 2 of these. So if you're destroying a creature to give yourself the ability to capture 2, that's even better. And yeah, just to consistently just taking one. If this comes out in the first 3 or 4 turns, by the end of the game, you could have taken 5 or 6 off your opponent, spread it across loads of creatures. So I just think it's very good. Then we're going to go on to the card I've picked for Howurian. And again, I've picked an artifact. It has no amber pips, but it kind of does, because it is Amphora Captura. And it comes with enhancements, 2 amber pips, 2 damage, and 2 draw icons. And then it says, while resolving a bonus icon, you may choose to resolve it as a capture bonus icon instead. Okay, so again, consistent amber control. I mean, it's added 6 enhancements to your deck, which is a lot of enhancements to be added to your deck. 1 in 6 cards now is going to be enhanced, or should be, just because of this. And as well, when this is down, you can use that enhancement as what it is if you want to. I mean, the amber pips, you're possibly going to want to use those as amber pips a lot of the time. The draw, again, depends what you're doing, depends what you're looking for, but there might be times when you want the draw. I mean, again, if you've got a Chronos in there, Fishing Bloom, there are times where you're going to want to use the draw, depending on which house you've played and which cards you've got. But something that's just going to give you the option and give you a choice. And in this game as well, I always especially like cards that give you a choice. You put a card down and right, every time you draw an icon, you've got the choice now of using it as the icon it is, or using it as a capture icon. So it's on you. You've made that. You've now got that decision. You've now got to make that decision and make your choice, and win or lose based on the choices that you make a little bit more, rather than necessarily the cards you play. So I think it's good. I think it's consistent, not overpowered. And that's the one I've gone for there. And then we're going to go on to the card that I've picked for Shadows. So I've picked a creature. It has no amber pip. It is power 1. So you probably guess which one it is. And it's Rad Penny. Mutant Thief. Play steal 1. Destroyed, shuffle Rad Penny into your deck. Obviously, this can be a bit swingy. If you get it on turn 1, boom, there we go. Play it. I've now got a creature down that you don't want to kill, because if you kill, you're pretty much putting a card into my deck that lets me steal another one from you. If you get it right at the end, it's only going to play steal 1 and probably not going to trigger again, because it's not going to get destroyed or get put back into your deck or cycle through to your hand to draw again. But equally, even if you took out the destroyed ability, is play steal 1 a decent ability on a creature? Yes, it is. Nobody's looking at urchins going, oh, an urchin, play steal 1. Play steal 1 is pretty good. I mean, look at the sea urchin in Dark Tidings. and the tide's got to be high for it to steal one, otherwise it captures. So just its playability by itself is pretty good, but then the fact that your opponent's literally got a creature on the board, they're looking at, I don't want to destroy it. It's one of those creatures like Infernus, things like that. You just don't want them to go back into the deck. You do not want this to go back into your opponent's deck, so you want to leave it. I mean, again, there are other things in Shadows that will work really well with it. All the different Shadows cards that deal 1 damage to a creature and give you an amber when you destroy that creature. Now, granted, it is only destroyed, it's not purged, returned to hand, returned to deck, etc, etc. But again, most elements of creature control do actually destroy the creature rather than something else like that. So yeah, that's why I've gone for that. Now we'll go on to Star Alliance. Okay, and for this one I have picked an artifact with an amber pip. And it is Matter Maker. You may play upgrades as if they were in the active house. Okay, so I feel this really suits the house that it's been put in. Star Alliance are the house that seem to want to get involved with other houses most and allow you to play or use actions, creatures, whatever from the other houses. So I think this fits really well with them. Also as well, they seem to be the most upgrade heavy house in the game, so in all likelihood you will have a couple of Star Alliance upgrades in your deck if you've got this. So even if you haven't got anything from the other houses, it may allow you to play some Star Alliance upgrades on another turn in another house if this is down. And then you can get into shenanigans with things like transporter platform. If you've got a transporter platform with this and you've got this down, the fact that every single house upgrade can be played down and removed and messed about with the transporter platform because this is great. But it's a nice card. I mean, an Amber Pip is good. It's not too good because I hate seeing cards with too many Amber Pips on them now because of things like Mindfire and Infernus. That new card, I think it's Strange Ordination, 3 Amber Pips, but you can only play it if the tide's high. Every time, the amount of times I've played that, got the 3 Amber, and then it's been Infernus, it's like, well, that was a chain. And it's even worse, because you might have took 3 chains just to play the thing down. So, Amber bonus, ability to get cards out of hand, there's a category of card now that you can just play all the time. So, very good, and that's why I've gone for that one. And then that's going to bring me on to Untamed. This one I've gone for an action. It does not have an Amber Pip, and oh boy, should it not have an Amber Pip. It is Resurgence. So it comes with Enhance Draw. So it's got a draw icon added to your deck. So, I mean, again, that's kind of... There is something that's on there, it's just gone somewhere else. Play. Return a creature from your discard pile to your hand. If that creature is a mutant, return another creature from your discard pile to your hand. So you must, again, this will matter when we go back into real life play, you must specify the mutant first. Otherwise, if you've got a rules layer across from you, no, you have to pick a mutant, then a creature. If you don't pick a mutant first, you don't get to pick the second. So obviously be careful with that. I don't think you'll ever have that, but again, if we get the Vault Warrior and people are playing for $50,000, they may well be that fussy over the rules. So be careful how you play it, but it's just brilliant. The cards that it can get back for you. I mean, get to Untamed cards then. Plenty of mutants in Untamed, and there's some absolutely cracking mutants in Untamed. Cephalist, you can't steal my Amber anymore if it's above a certain point, but I've taken the steal away. So now you have to kill Cephalist before you can steal and take me off check. Trimble, all mutant creatures gain Skirmish. Daemon Beast, destroyed, steal one. Destroy it, resurgence it, put it back down again. And, I mean, again, you're not necessarily going to get this, but Niflcon. That returns both halves. And then Niflcon returns all the Niffle Apes that go with it. Again, you've seen my Niflcon deck with double Resurgence and the Enhanced Chronos. I just think it is very, very good. Always going to work for you. Always going to get you back something you're going to need. And I like it a lot. So that is why I've gone for that one. So those are all my choices, and as ever, I'd love to hear from you. Which ones do you think I've got right? Which ones do you think I've got wrong? Which ones do you agree with, and specifically why, or do you agree with for different reasons? As ever, we have got the comments, we've got Twitter, we've got email. Feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, feel free to follow, do all that stuff. Thank you for staying with me for another Captain's Commpod all the way to the end. I do appreciate it. We will be back with another one next week, and as ever, may the forge be with you.